Okay guys, in today's video we're going to look at a couple of alcohol stoves, a gas burner stove and a mini gas burner stove. Now these are usually used for camping and hiking, but in an earthquake or an emergency when the gas mains are off, these are a real lifesaver. And my gas went off last year, went off for an entire day, and I cooked off all of these just fine. I made a full 3-course meal for 6 people, just using this gear. So let's get into it. The first thing we're going to look at is an alcohol stove, and this is an Esbit stove. Now this comes with a nice little bag. It's not too hard wearing, but it does keep it all together, keeps the lid on, and if you want to use it, fair play. Very well, lightweight, no problems really. Lid comes off, again hard wearing lid, plastic top, so you do have to worry about the heat on that one, but you can unscrew it if you do want to keep it safe for longer. Inside here you have 2 parts. You've got your stove stand, that on there, or your pot stand, sorry, and handles fold out like so. These again are rubberized on the end. I haven't had any problems yet. If they do get too hot, too high of a flame, you might catch them. But so far with me they haven't melted, and I've been using this for about 3 years now. Again, no problems. Again, it's still in good nick. There's no real burns to it, no scratches. It's pretty hard wearing. The pot itself will do about 800 millilitres of water, and that is perfect for things like your emergency boiling the bags, just pop in like so, or if you're going to use your seal up freeze-dried gear. This will do you just fine and still leave you enough for a cup of coffee. Now looking at your main stove here, it comes in 3 parts. One, a top section, and that's your snuffer, just folds out like that. This will fit underneath the pot while it's all lit, and you can just snuff it out to save any alcohol you don't want to waste. Looking here, you've got your top. Now this is all brass containers here. You might want to polish it up every now and again to keep it in good condition, but to be honest, it does just fine. A very nice point to this is the black rubber O-ring. Now this stops any alcohol that you're storing in this from coming out. And as you can see, it's just a standard alcohol stove. And just to prove that it does work, because I was sceptical at first myself, let's pour in some alcohol here. So there's, to be honest, a lot more than you usually need in there, just to make sure it really does work. Seal it up. And we're fine. You might get the odd bit of leakage every now and again if you haven't set the ring up properly, but this does just fine. The only thing I would say about it is that it is quite small. And if you do want to change things out, if you do want to rest other things on this pot stand, it might not be as stable as you'd like. And because it's so close to the flame, what you're going to find is that the pan's going to get very hot, a bit too fast for your cooking. What's nice about it here is it has this grating. Now this is what heats up. Instead of just being a standard pot that goes on the top, this will heat up. And it will slowly take a lot of that heat and it'll keep it boiling nice and smoothly, especially for a longer period of time. Not a bad piece of kit. I picked this up at Sports Authority and it set me back about 3,000 yen I think for the whole set, which again isn't bad, and it works for all kinds of ethanol alcohol. The second thing we're going to look at here is this lovely Primus setup. Now this doesn't come with any of the gas burner stuff, it's just a simple pot setup. Again, it's got its little bag, which is fine. And the handles, again, just like the previous stove, plastic, rubber here. It's fine for me. A little bit smaller. This one just for a cup of tea or coffee. And inside, you've got a larger one here. Now this will do 400. The line here is at 400. So you can squeeze about 450, maybe 5 into here if you really want to. Again, nice little pot, good condition. Takes a lot of heat. I've had this in the fire many times and no problem there. In regards to this burner, now this is a very small Soto gas burner. Soto, as far as I know, is mainly in Japan, but it could be in other countries, most likely in the States. And it just folds out like that, whack it on top of your gas, and there you are. There you are. This will balance quite nicely on here, slightly toothed to give a little bit of grip to it, which I quite like, and it does kick out a nice amount of flame. Now, I tend to use Soto gas cans. I use the smaller ones because you can actually fit 2 of these and your burner quite nicely into this set. So it'll fit just perfect inside. One more, and the burner comes in a little bag. The burner on top, wrapped up in that nice little black pouch. Again, works quite nicely. The only drawback I would say to this is that it is small. It doesn't do well with bigger pans, and because the flame is a small burner, it's not going to really heat the whole pan. So you're going to spend a lot of time messing around if you're planning on cooking on anything bigger. But for camping, emergency situations, for your bug out bag, this is a nice piece of kit. Now the pans are about 2,000 yen, again from Sports Authority. On Amazon you might get it cheaper. Not a bad setup. The burner itself was about 4,000 yen, just as it is. Now the reason for that is because it's so compact. There is one danger point here, this little turning gauge here. This is to control your gas flow. I've known this to bend, and again, because it's got a nice little rubber coating, it can catch. So better watch for that. The last stove we're going to look at is the Nabe grill. Now, most people will call this a camping stove. Standard, one gas canister. This is a household item in Japan. Everybody has one of these because they like to do things at home with a big Nabe pot, kind of like a hot pot mixed dish. Keeping one of these at home with a couple cans of gas is very recommended, especially in emergencies, because you never know when you'll need it. These cans of gas cost barely anything. It's about 100 yen a can. 100 yen is about 80 pence and about $1 in American. So again, it's worth it if you do want to spend the time. Looking at alcohol, now I've only found 3 different types of ethanol alcohol in Japan so far. This is one of them, and this is the other one that I found. They, as far as I can find, are the exact same. They're just different brands. The chemist that I've been researching these with says this one might give you a higher flame, but this one will burn longer. So you've got a trade-off here with heat and length of time used. Again, very cheap, about 200 or 300 yen from most drugstores. For example, a Matsumotokiyoshi in Japan, or a Maruets in Japan. One thing to look out for. Now this is a more expensive brand here. This cost me over 1,000 yen. So for one of these, I could have bought 5 of those. To be honest, it's the same stuff. My drawback here was that I bought this from one of the survival shops, thinking, okay, this is my first thing. Wow, it's expensive? Okay, that's what it is. As a tip, watch out for that. Okay guys, thanks very much for listening, and hey, be prepared, stay safe. Okay guys, so we've got our 2 stoves here. Now the Soto gas burner stove here, that set a rolling boil in about 3.5 minutes. That's got 300 millilitres of water in it, and it's on full power here. Now our alcohol stove, which again is going on full, with a full set of alcohol in it. That's again about 300 millilitres, and it's still just getting there. Probably in about another 2 minutes, this should reach a boil. So definitely, in regards to the 2, the gas burner definitely gets the job done quicker.